personal development. That's what this entire conversation was about with Jim Rohn and Brian Tracy. Those are the two gentlemen that you were hearing, Jim Rohn and Brian Tracy. If you haven't dove into any of their older content, do go in there, because Jim Rohn, very big on this personal development, personal growth, success side of things. Brian Tracy is very good with productivity, with time management, mindset, those types of things. When they come together, right, you can really experience how to get the most out of your day, out of your time, with your mindset, all those things. So ton of stuff in there. But in the book, it says the world class is committed to personal development. It says average performers wouldn't read a personal development book or listen to a personal development recording if you paid them. Only about 5% of the population study personal development. Our exact estimate of the percentage of professional performers in this country. Interesting, isn't it? The masses seem to view personal development as motivational nonsense. Of course, most of these people are struggling to make ends meet. In contrast, many world-class people and those who aspire to world-class levels are believers in the personal development movement. You don't have to convince a champion to want to win. Personal development, by definition, is about discovering the unique talents, abilities, and potentials that lie dormant within us. The great ones are always looking for that one little adjustment, strategy, distinction, or technique that will give them an edge over the competition. And that's exactly what personal development offers. As Bill Gove was famous for saying, all of us already have everything we need inside of us to make our lives work. Personal development is not about self-improvement. It's about self-discovery. It's about rediscovering what we already know. Understanding that you learning about you taking time to really develop, to become something new, to become something different is the key to your success. Some of the notes that I wrote down, I hope you guys took some notes or jotted down some key points that you heard from Jim Rohn or from Brian Tracy. If you get better, everything will get better for you. This is the thesis, ladies and gentlemen. If you get better, everything will get better for you. Guys, this is so important to understand as having an entrepreneurial mindset, having a mindset of if it is to be, it's up to me, that there's nothing external that is determining how I'm living right now. Everything that I've brought on or that I see is because of me. When we take ownership of that, it's easy for us then to make changes, because then we understand if I get better, everything around me will get better, right? If I get better, everything will get better for me. You know where I learned this? Probably outside of business. I learned this in my marriage. I learned this in my relationship. It happens a lot of times. Those of you that are married or those of you that are in relationships, what we do is we point the finger and we say, it's them, it's them, it's them, right? If they changed, if they did this, if they, right, talked differently or, right, did something differently or spent time differently. And we look at that, but learning this through going through counseling and therapy, if you focus on the I and say, what am I not giving? What am I not doing? What did I not do? Right? How am I falling short? And you just focus on you. If you get better, the other stuff gets better, right? When I got better, my relationship got better. When you get better in business, your business gets better, right? Like, so you got to understand, you get better, everything's going to get better for you. How do we learn, right? Learning from people's experience, learning from your own experiences. That's one way to learn, right? We all learn. Hopefully you do learn from your own experiences. Hopefully you take the lessons in of like, hey, what worked? What didn't work? What do I need to stop doing? What do I need to keep doing? And are we learning those lessons from our own experiences? But also, are we learning from others? Are we growing by learning from others? Jim Rohn made a joke, right? It'd be good to learn from, failures, right? Have failures give seminars, right? So you can learn what not to do. So you can learn how not to think about things. But we normally get at the other side, right? From people that win, from people that have done some things. Well, you can learn on both sides, but you're learning from people and you learn by observation. What are you seeing them do? If you're around someone consistently that does something, you're watching their behavior, you're watching their habits, and that's how we learn. That's how children learn, right? We have a saying for those of you that are parents, right? Kids don't listen to what we say, they watch what we do. They don't listen to what we say, They just watch what we do. If you have habits, they're just learning by observation. They're learning, right? I have a young daughter. She's learning how to operate in the world by how she sees mom and dad operate in the world. She's learning how to, even though we can tell her, right, not to talk to certain people, whatever, she's watching mom and dad talk to certain people, right? She's just observing it. And that's how she's learning. Well, that's how we learn as human beings, also as adults, by watching people do certain things. So learn from observation. You also learn by listening. There's an old saying that says we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Use them accordingly. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Use them accordingly. That means you should be listening twice as much as you're talking. Even though you guys hear me talk a lot, I listen twice as much throughout the day than I actually talk. Right? So you can learn by listening, by hearing, by asking questions, by being curious, by being a student. And then also, Jim Rohn talked about reading books. This is part of the personal development side. What's your library look like? What are the last 4 or 5 books you read? I'm going on, I'm losing count. 7 books, 8 books. I forget where I'm at right now, but it's constant. I'm constantly listening to a brand new book because that's how we learn. And then he made a note of keeping a journal. If you're not keeping a journal, right? Our brains are not meant for storage. Our brains are meant for creativity. Our brains are not meant for storage. So there's going to be good information you're going to pick up from that book, from that observation of somebody, from listening to something. You need a place to jot it down. You need a place to be like, ooh, that was something that I need to remember, that I need to hold on to, and then go back and revisit those notes in your journal. But that's important, writing those things down. Jim Rohn talked about his famous quote, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Do you live that? Hopefully we do. Hopefully you're working. And when it says working on yourself, what does that mean? He named a couple things: working on your philosophies, working on your attitude, working on your character, working on your language, working on your personality. How do you personally get better? Are you working harder on yourself than you do on your job? You may give your job 50 hours a week. Do you work harder on yourself than you work on those 50 hours a week? I hope so. Why? Because the thesis, you have to become better. What you become is much better than what you get. Who you become is much better than what you get. So that's what this life is about. It's about becoming. Who are you becoming? This is something Jim Rohn said about having the job also. The question is not what are you getting from the job, because we all know you're getting a paycheck, right? You're working in your career. You're getting, right, something for your resume. That's cool. Who are you becoming? Who are you becoming? I was just having this conversation with someone saying the downsides of choosing careers. Yes, it might be cool to be a correctional officer or a cop, but who are you becoming? What are you privy to? What are you around? Who are you becoming? Not what are you getting? Oh, yes, you get a pension. Oh, yes, right, you get some good work hours, but who are you becoming? That's really the question that you're asking yourself every single day, ladies and gentlemen, is who are you becoming? Because what you have attracted at the moment is the person what you have attracted at the moment is by the person you've become. I don't know what I wrote there, but you guys understand what I'm saying, right? Basically, what you have in your life right now, right, is a result of who you become. You've attracted those things in your life. So we got to change those things. We got to change the philosophies, the habits, the attitudes, our character, our language, all of those things. We have to grow and learn and change and develop in order to become the version of ourselves that we need to be to get to the top of this thing. The action step for today says make a commitment to attend 2 seminars or workshops over the next 12 months for your own personal growth and development. Set a goal to listen to one of your favorite nonfiction authors or speakers every day when you're in the car. Set another goal to read 1 positive or inspirational book a month for the next 12 months. Map out a personal development plan of action, and you'll be amazed by the results. Make sure you are putting in the work to grow yourself personally, ladies and gentlemen. That's the name of the game. It's about becoming more so that you can attract better, so that you can have more in your life. Study success, study happiness, study all the things that you want to become, fix your focus on those things, and let's go after it, because it's too crowded down here at the bottom. Time to get to the top of this thing. Love you guys. Want y'all to win. You deserve it. Go out there and make Wednesday a great Wednesday. Do something that scares you. Do something that pushes you out of your comfort zone. Do something that makes you a little nervous, gives you a little bit of butterflies, makes you feel alive. Do something today that changes your rhythm a bit, that gets you to the place where you feel good about the life that you are creating for yourself, guys.